Good evening and welcome to our SuperBizCamp webinar. We're thrilled to be here with you to talk about this incredible program. To start off, my name is Jake Smith. I'm a programs developer here at Quantum Learning Network, which means I get to develop and create curriculum here with Jeff, as well as during the summers, I'm actually out being a lead facilitator and helping to run SuperCamps.
And my name is Jeff Miller, and I am the SuperCamp Programs Manager, also a lead facilitator in the summer. And Jake and I do work together in the development of programs and training of our staff. And this evening, we're going to speak to you about SuperBizCamp and the purpose of this webinar, which is first to introduce you to the SuperBizCamp program. We're also going to hit some major highlights of the program and how the program is unique, and then finally answer any questions that you may have about the SuperBizCamp program.
So this program came about as a partnership between two incredible organizations. The first is the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, also known as NIFTY, and they partnered with us here at Quantum Learning SuperCamp. So let's talk a little bit about what both sides bring to the table and how they're going to build together a really great program. First of all, NIFTY has over 25 years of teaching young entrepreneurs. So they go into public schools and work with students there who maybe have some ideas but just don't know how to go about developing those ideas. And so they've been in numerous states, over 30. They're in 12 countries around the world, and they're a nonprofit that works in helping students make their dreams come true. They also bring to the table the network of CEOs, entrepreneurs, business owners, some of whom will be speaking at the program. So you've probably seen a lot about the guest speakers who are going to be coming in and mentoring, and they are part of the Los Angeles business community, and NIFTY has created those connections over the years. Finally, for the program, there will be two instructors who are from NIFTY and two instructors who are from SuperCamp, both specializing in their own specific curricula. So NIFTY's instructors have been teaching this curriculum for a long time, are teachers as well in their non-NIFTY lives, and they've been working with students to help them develop their entrepreneurship ideas for many years, and we're thrilled to be working with them.
Another unique attribute of this combined program is that it is a blend of NIFTY's business skills embedded within our accelerated learning environment. And what that means is that we get to take the over 30 years of building grades, confidence, and motivation in students, all of that information and the strategies that we have developed, and emphasize life skills in addition to business skills. So we have our 21st century brain-based learning strategies coupled with business skills being taught every day, focusing on not just an entrepreneur with business savvy, but also an ethically and socially responsible entrepreneur. And that is one of the things we're really excited about, this collaboration and how SuperBizCamp comes together. And then finally, that facilitation team that has over 300 hours of training before they get in front of youth that Quantum Learning SuperCamp prides itself in is being brought as we aid in the setting of that accelerated learning environment. So those are some ways that this partnership creates a really exciting new brand of business camp.
So some of the highlights that you've been able to read about on the website or maybe have heard about through some of NIFTY's programs, one thing is that we don't just want to allow students to simply learn these skills. We want them to be able to use the skills and use them in an environment where we can coach them and help them to improve them even more. So what you're seeing on your screen right now are pictures of the Los Angeles Fashion District, where students will be going about halfway through camp. They'll get on a bus with all of the staff as well. They'll go to the Fashion District, and they do what's called the buying event. And the buying event is simply a chance for students to take all they've learned about supply and demand, about marketing, about negotiation and budgeting, and what kind of resources they have to be able to use. So they go to the Fashion District, they work slightly with their instructors, and then they have to go off on their own and be able to buy the resources they need to later create a product. That product gets created the next day, and what you see now is a picture of Loyola Marymount where the program is being held. So on campus, they do then what's called the selling event. After learning about marketing and learning about sales, they take the materials that they bought the day before with guidance, and then they actually get to interact with people who are on campus for a variety of things, for conferences, students who are there for classes, other people just touring Los Angeles who want to see the campus, set up booths and actually sell their events and get experience with what that interaction with the consumer is like. So those are just two of the incredible highlights of this program.
In addition to learning about marketing, finances, every participant of SuperBizCamp gets to generate an idea. They get to learn about what are the social opportunities in their neighborhoods and in their societies, and then create a business plan that answers any of the questions that problem proposes. Now, not only do they create an idea, they see that idea all the way through into a business plan. So as they're learning marketing and how to run numbers, all of this is being immediately applied to the business plans that they're creating with their partners. This serves as kind of the backbone of SuperBizCamp as they're working side by side with the mentors and really applying everything that they're academically learning through experience right there at camp. And as they're going through the program will conclude at the end of the 8 days with presentations of these business plans. So by the end, not only will they generate an idea, they'll actually get to walk away with the program with a business plan in hand.
Also, what's wonderful about this program is it's not a lecture style setting. It's not that students are going into an MBA program where they sit and just learn accounting. All of the skills that they're going to be learning are through hands-on experiential activities. We know how the brain works, especially the adolescent brain, and we know that it needs to be engaged, it needs to be having fun, and that will actually make that short-term memory go into long-term memory. So students will be interacting with technology as they work together to research business opportunities. They will get a chance to collaborate and be a part of not only a larger team, but also part of a partnership which together creates and gives feedback on a business plan. And finally, those guest speakers that we spoke about before, that network of CEOs, entrepreneurs, they will come in not only to speak to the students, but actually spend time mentoring them, being side by side with them, listening to their business plan, giving them feedback in the moment and saying, from my experience in the business world, here's my opinion on your plan. So it's really great to have these people who are volunteers, who are pillars of the community coming on in to speak with our students and mentor them through the program. Furthermore, we know that business often revolves around competition, and there's some of that, and there's also what we call co-opetition, or even collaboration, and the idea that students can work together, much like they will need to in an office setting or in a business setting, to create a finished product. It's tough to go it by oneself, and so by students getting a chance to interact and collaborate, the ideas become stronger, and they also get a sounding board. Furthermore, communication is huge when it comes to being successful in business. Also being able to speak in front of people. What you see there is actually a picture of Nifty's national competition that they hold in Washington, D.C. every year, where the winners from each city where Nifty holds its programs come and actually present their business plans for seed capital. The student who's on the screen in front of you, she actually won, and she's from Los Angeles and was mentored by the same people who are helping us put on this product. Every person who is coming through our program, every student will get a chance to practice public speaking. They'll get a chance they will speak in front of their group. They will be speaking in front of adults as well, and they'll get feedback in the moment on how they're doing.
In addition, there are a couple of thinking skills that we will be focusing on at SuperBizCamp as well. The first is critical thinking. So every decision that is made about the business plan is an opportunity for students to practice critical thinking. And critical thinking skills are paramount into what is needed to succeed in their classrooms back at home, but in collegiate environments as well as work environments. So as we focus on critical thinking, and we have 8 days of reinforcement of building competence in critical thinking, as we need to decide what is our business idea. How do we take this business idea to our potential audience? How do we market? How do we find solutions to all the problems that business proposes? And then finally, taking all of that reinforced practice back so that you have confidence in school, in your job opportunities in the future, as well as that college environment. The other side of the thinking is our creative thinking. And so at SuperCamp, we know that the brain is both divergent and convergent. And so by understanding the process of idea generation and how to get creativity into that process, and then applying the critical analysis, those critical thinking skills, and to selecting what is the best idea, how do we pursue it, which solution is going to best solve the problem that my business is proposing. So the combination of our creative thinking and our critical thinking and reinforcing it is how collaboration, communication, and our thinking skills become assets to us and reinforced in this program.
So certainly what you just heard, they're buzzwords and they're there in front of you: collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity. But they're very specific words and they're here for reasons. So in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you see p21.org. That's the website of the Partnership for a 21st Century, which is a collaboration of over 100 well-known companies, everything from technology like Apple and Dell to Dow to pharmaceuticals. And they got together and they said, we want our future employees to have certain skills. And they created a guideline and a curriculum around what those skills are. So we've been implementing them in SuperCamp for years and years before P21 was necessarily put together, but more and more public schools are starting to teach these as well. So they are absolutely foundational to our program because we want our students to walk away, and we know that our students will walk away with the skills that are going to make them successful business people.
So these are just a few of the highlights of our SuperBizCamp program. We are really excited about this opportunity this summer to be working with young entrepreneurs. At this time, we have some time available and set aside for questions and answers. So whatever questions that you have, feel free to type them into the box at the lower left-hand portion of your screen. As they come in, we'll address them and answer them to the best of our ability. In the meantime, there was a few questions that were emailed in prior to the start of the webinar, and we'll start with addressing those as you have a chance to type in your questions. So let's take a look at our first question.
Thank you, Marilyn from Jacksonville, Florida. The website mentions a competition and seed capital. Can you give some details about that? We would love to. So part of the model is based on Nifty's model, which is it starts small, students work in their classrooms. There is one business plan that is voted by a panel of judges to have the most potential. So then that person moves on to a district level, to a city level, and then to the national level where they're able to win seed capital. We wanted to do the same thing in a smaller version, a smaller ecosystem here at SuperBizCamp. So every student, as Jeff mentioned, in the end, walks away with a business plan. And that's the biggest takeaway. Again, it's a competition much like businesses are. And so we want students to understand that they can still be resilient, they can still get feedback and have failure leads to success, and also learn a lot about themselves in terms of the competition. So here's how it works. Students early on in the program get a feel through a number of activities of what they're good at, what their skills are, what they like to do, and then through that start to formulate an idea of a product. They then get partnered up or choose a partner of somebody who maybe has similar skills or similar vision to them. So if I'm really into computers, maybe I partner with Jeff, who's also into computer softwares and video games, and we go that route. Meanwhile, another group of people is working on fashion. So every student will work on their business plan in a partnership because we believe that that's essential for students to be able to move forward. In that partnership, they'll also still be in teams of about 10 students. So each team will have 5 partnerships. Throughout camp, they'll be learning all about the processes, they'll be learning about what will make them successful, developing their business plan. On day 6 or day 7 of the program, the teams will need to watch each other, so they'll get to watch each other's presentations. And then from that, they're going to choose the partnership that they believe has the most potential to win. Now, you might ask, why would they choose somebody else versus themselves if they, eventually want to win? The team that has the winning partnership, the partnership that eventually wins it all, that team also receives a set of gifts. So it's in their best interest to vote for the partnership that has the best success or the best chance of success. So once a partnership is chosen from each team, each of the 6 or 7 teams, then those partnerships will actually present in front of the panel of judges who are from the business community of Los Angeles, who are coming in specifically to be judges on the 7th day of camp. Finally, at graduation, you'll get a chance to see some of those business presentations. The partnership that wins the eventual end of the contest, that is voted by the panel of judges to have the best chance of success, they will receive $3,000 in seed capital. Now, you might say that's a lot of money for 2 high schoolers. So what that will look like is they'll get to split it up amongst themselves. And of that $1,500 that they each get, half of that money will be available to them right away. The other half will be held onto by Nifty. And then the students must then check in with Nifty and say, hey, here's our business plan, and here's how we plan to use this money to be able to have that other money dispersed to them. So hopefully that gives you some context around how the competition will work. And again, there are multiple other prizes in terms of best marketing, best product, different categories, so lots of students get a chance to sort of show off their skills. And of course, in the end, only one partnership can win the seed capital, and it's going to be really exciting to see how that all happens. Yeah, so thank you, Marilyn. Yeah.
Great question. I was just going to add that as each participant gets this great opportunity to learn all of these skills, go through this entire process, it's just a little extra added incentive at the end to raise that cooperative and competitive spirit.
Next question. Samantha Jones from New York, how will my child be able to apply the skills they learned at SuperBizCamp when they return home? So SuperCamp, on its own, the SuperCamp program excels at giving students tools to re-enter, as we call it. So they've learned all these great things at camp, and it's like the question says, how do I start applying it at school? So every student not only walks away with a business plan, they'll also have their SuperBizCamp playbook, where everything they've learned, everything they've written down will be recorded so that they can keep it by their bed or by their desk or wherever they study, so that they have that resource when they go back to school. Meanwhile, all of the skills are applicable so much so that they can take their business plan and they can actually run with it when they get home and really starting their own small business if they had the resources to, which we hope they will after our program and believe they will. So students definitely learn how to apply skills, and we give them a chance to work them out in real situations, as we talked about before, so that they get that context.
There's also all of the connections that can be made from a business environment to an academic environment, as well as all of the communication skills, those critical thinking skills, creativity, all of the 4 C's in addition to the life skills that, although they're learned in a business environment and that definitely have a place, it's again building confident and competent students that can achieve in any environment. And so it really is just the added bonus of not only having a business plan, but then the awarenesses that are built working in this environment and having to critically solve problems in an intense 8-day environment, and having the support and reinforcement of that environment to then take home and apply into your life at large.
Thank you for that question. Andrew Silos from Dallas, I'm worried about my student being pressured out of their idea and forced into promoting someone else's dream because they want to win the money. Can you comment on this? It's a really great question, and we're happy to answer it because I think these are a lot of the questions people have, especially when we're talking about actual money that students can win and how competitive students and adults obviously can get when things like that are on the line. Again, what we believe is that students, based on the flow of our program and the way we set up this competition, is that in the end it benefits them most to choose the partnership from their team that is going to be the most successful. Again, if I'm partnered with somebody else in terms of promoting somebody else's dream, I'm most likely going to partner, or I'm going to have instructors partner me with somebody who has similar values and interests and even creative skills as me. So it's not that I'm really into animals and Jeff's really into computers and I'm going to get shoved into Jeff's partnership because there's no other place for us. It's that through a series of activities, I'm going to find out I love animals. Jeff's going to find out he loves animals too. We're going to find out we both love animals, and we'll partner on a project or a product that maybe benefits dogs, cats, whatever it is. Obviously, I was making that one up, but students, if you want to use that when you come to SuperBizCamp, you're welcome.
In addition, I would say that the competition, while it is a big component of the program, it is not the sole focus of the program. That every day is built to the success of that day. And so as students are going through the program on any given day, they're learning a variety of skills that have direct application not only in that day, but larger situations in their life. And so as they're being mentored, when they're coming across problems, or I'm getting in a situation where I'm passionate about my idea and Jake is about his, that in addition to just learning about business, we're teaching communication skills and the required life skills to navigate through those difficult situations that do arise quite honestly in life. And so the focus isn't just necessarily towards the fun competition that is definitely a piece of this program, but it's also how do we navigate through those situations. And so what the competition does allow is enough of an incentive that reality starts to take place at camp. And then we're able to apply everything that we worked on that day to be successful in navigating through some of those situations that arrive through competition.
Thank you. Time for a few more. Sandy from Los Angeles, will the SuperBizCamp help my child determine if they're truly passionate about pursuing a business major in college? I think to a great extent, the answer is yes. I think some students will walk away and say, this product is something I really want to focus on, but maybe I still want to do something else with my life. And I think a lot of people also find as well that having a business background can apply to a number of degrees, to a number of fields. Yeah. Business people are needed in any industry that's out there. And so I think a student will most likely go through, and some of them will say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start my own business. I want to be involved in business. And others might say, I want to get a degree in something else, but I'm so glad I have a business background now from going through SuperBizCamp that can be applied to so many different areas, both academically, socially, professionally.
Yeah, the key is exposure. By being exposed to these skill sets and to all that a business degree and this program would put in front of you, from communication to finances, through the life skills portions of camp as well. All of that exposure allows someone to not only decide to go into business, but again, it brings forth abilities that they may not have known they had. And that confidence and those newfound skill sets can be applied to any major, whether it is a pursuit in business or not.
Thank you. A couple more. Is there any high school or college credit they can earn? So for this particular program, because it's only 8 days long, there simply aren't enough seat hours, as they're called. So when an accrediting agency comes in and looks at a program for college or high school credit, there's a certain number of seat hours that must be present for them to be able to give that forward. And because of the efficiency of the program, because it happens so quickly, we simply don't have enough. We know that the skills that they learn will apply to high school and to college, not in one class, but in all classes, so that they can take these skills, both that they've learned from Quantum Learning SuperCamp and from NIFTY in terms of the business skills, and really apply them back for their success academically. Let's do one more. Joy from Santa Ana, my daughter has already created a product. Will this program help her further her business plan to market this product? Yes, the answer is definitely yes. Students will come in. Some of them will have ideas that they've thought about for years. Oh, it'd be so great to do this. Some may have no idea whatsoever. And what's incredible about this program is it gives all students a chance to develop ideas, either to come up with new ones or to take ones that they already have and maybe flesh them out a little more and figure out what's going to make them the most successful and be most marketable and most, I think, well worth the time that they want to invest. So the more ideas, the merrier. The more you can come with, the more you have to pull from when it's time to really start developing it.
And even if her idea isn't used at camp, it's the exposure to the process as well as the skills that are learned at camp that'll allow her to go back or return to that idea and have new competence and confidence in how to achieve or turn that idea into something larger.
So thank you so much for being on this webinar. It's been great getting to talk to you about SuperBizCamp, and we are getting even more excited as we get closer to summer.
Yep. Please remember that to join us tomorrow, we have one more webinar. It's starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and it is on Leadership Forum and Quantum U. Those are two other additional programs in the SuperCamp program family. Thank you so much for your time and energy. We appreciate the investment that you are making in your son or daughter's future.